everyone, Miss GoElectric here in the native habitat of the cargo e-bike, the grocery store parking lot. Today is an exciting day because Flyer has sent me their latest generation of their cargo e-bike, the Flyer Via, ahead of its launch. So this will be a first look. Now, I reviewed their first generation of their cargo e-bike last year, and there were quite a bit of opportunities for improvements. Now let's find out if the Flyer Via steps it up a notch.
The Flyer Via is a Class 2 e-bike, which means the motor can work up to 20 miles per hour using the pedal assistance and its thumb throttle. The Via has a 500-watt rear hub motor and uses a torque sensor to determine how to apply the pedal assistance. The UL2271 certified battery operates at 46.8 volts with a capacity of 14.7 amp hours. That is equivalent to 687 watt-hours. The battery is easily removable and can be charged on or off the bike with a hidden AirTag cavity for location tracking. Flyer includes a 2-amp charger which should deliver a full charge from empty to full in about 7 hours. Flyer claims a range between 30 and 50 miles. The Flyer Via comes in 3 step-through frame sizes. The small frame supports riders between 4'10" to 5'10", the medium frame accommodates riders between 5'3" and 6'3", and the large frame fits riders from 5'10" to 6'10", which is the tallest rider height limit that I've reviewed for an e-bike. The Flyer Via comes in 3 colors: black, school bus yellow, and sage green. The bike weighs between 68 and 69 pounds depending on the frame size. The overall payload capacity is 400 pounds. Maximum rider weight is 220 pounds, and the rear rack can support 150 pounds. The front rack's limit is 30 pounds. These are Tektro hydraulic brakes with 180mm rotors, a great improvement on the Flyer L885's mechanical brakes. The entry-level 7-speed Sys index shifter and tourney derailleur are made by Shimano. There's a rigid front fork, and the Kenda puncture-resistant tires are 24 inches in diameter in the front and 20 inches in the rear, each with a 2.4-inch wide tread. The display is basic but includes a USB-A port to keep a phone charged while riding. Flyer provides an app to connect to your bike which acts as a real-time bike computer. The app was not fully operational at the time of our review, but will include map integration, pedal assist and turn signal adjustments, ride recording, service support, and more. The integrated headlight and taillights with turn signals are standard. The Via also comes with plastic fenders, a dual-legged kickstand, and an integrated rear rack. A robust plastic shroud protects rear riders and cargo from the motor, gears, wheel, and road debris. The kid and cargo carrier hoop system is standard with this bike too. The rear rack can accommodate a wide variety of accessories. This kid and cargo carrier has to be my favorite accessory I've seen to date, as it provides an incredible amount of protected carrying capacity, especially when you pair it with the hood that is made for it. The rear rack also has support for YEP seats. Flyer also offers an upgraded version of this cargo e-bike called the Via Pro. That will include a front suspension fork, a more powerful 750-watt rear hub motor, an upgraded 8-speed shifter, and a brighter integrated headlight. They also have 2 additional colors called Forest Green and Space Gray Blue. Via owners get Flyer's 1-year warranty and support from an expansive authorized dealer network for service. They also have a partnership with Velofix for mobile service and assembly needs in certain locations across the country. I'm happy to see that Flyer directs others to the battery recycling program Call to Recycle for safe disposal at the end of its life.
Now those specifications are absolutely an improvement, but let's find out how it rides. By the way, this is my Xnito e-bike helmet, and it can protect riders up to 28 miles per hour. If you want to learn more, see the link in the description below, and I have a coupon code. Let's ride. All right, so I like to start my reviews by pedaling without any assist. And although this is, a full-size cargo bike, it is heavier. Usually you're gonna be in an environment where it's like this. You have flat surfaces, you're riding on pavement, and I can definitely feel the weight of this bike, so I wouldn't wanna do it for long, but it is doable if I run out of battery. So this bike has 5 pedal assist modes, and it has a torque sensor. So once I cross the street up here, we're gonna give that a test. Let me bump up that pedal assist now in the first mode here. Now, the great thing about this bike is that it has an app, and the app will give you some flexibility on how you want your bike to perform. So to be fair, the pedal assists are arbitrary because you can actually pick and choose how you want the pedal assist to perform. They have a slider bar in the app so you can adjust each pedal assist mode exactly how you want it. So right now I have this on a minimum level, but it feels comfortable. And the power delivery on this torque sensor is very smooth. And when I'm down in these lower pedal assist levels, it's definitely quiet. And this particular version of the Via is a 500 watt motor. So usually when we get up to higher outputs of power with these motors, they are a little bit noisier, but I'm also traveling next to a high traffic street, so now that I can't hear as much traffic, it is a little bit of noise, but not too distracting. It's just fine. Now, a couple things that I really like so far about this cargo bike is the handlebar shape. They remind me of a BMX style because they come up really high towards the rider, and you can kind of make an adjustment to swing it closer towards you. Now, I do still wish that it had an adjustable stem because then you have more flexibility for different sized riders to get really as comfortable as you possibly could. But otherwise, I mean, this riding position is very comfortable to me. I feel like I'm riding in an upright position. I'm a little bit leaning forward, but not by too much. And I love these grips. I also like the step-through design. It is wide and deep, so it makes it a lot easier for you to get on and off the bike. Now, this does not have a suspension fork, this version of the Via, but if you want to get the suspension front fork, then you'd probably want to look at the Pro version. And that's only if you're going to be going over some rough terrain. Right now, I do feel some of that vibration kicking back in the handlebars, but to have the choice of going with a rigid front fork or for a little bit less of a price, or having the option of getting a suspension front fork, I think is nice that they provide that. It's not bad as far as the maneuverability goes. Being a full-size cargo bike, let's test out these hydraulic brakes and see how those perform. Very nice. Those are going to be wonderful for when especially you have a load, to have enough performance to get you completely stopped. While we're stopped though, let's do a throttle test and see how this performs. I love a thumb throttle. So 3, 2, 1. Nice and gradual, but gets you up to 20 miles per hour. Big bump. Woo! I flipped my basket over. That's how intense that bump was. Let's actually stop and fix that. If you are carrying things in your basket and you go into a store or you want to go in somewhere, not only are they protected, but also you can take this off the bike and bring it inside with you, so you don't have to worry about the security of it. Some other cargo e-bikes that I've reviewed have some bags that are built into the frame of the bike that have locking capabilities as well, and I think that is also a very good option. The display is very simple, no frills. I like that you can have the Flyer app kind of take over as your bike computer. It has bigger font and text, so it's easier to read, and a lot of adjustments available on there. Really nice that they've included a bell on this bike because I feel like that is the bare minimum on a bike where you're using it for utility or taking passengers around. I love to see an electric horn, but at the very least, I'm glad this has a bell to alert people when you're nearby, especially on sidewalks. All right, I want to see how quickly I can get up to speed in just the 5th pedal assist mode and pedaling. See the higher gears, how quick we can get. Now, if I was riding amongst traffic in a city or something like that and using this as a car replacement, I might want something that goes a little bit quicker to keep up with that traffic. But if you're just in suburban America and you want to use this to go to the grocery store every once in a while, you have a good place to store it with enough space, then I think that this is an option you should consider. I'm going to turn around and head back, and then we'll talk about all the things I really enjoyed while I was riding this bike and the improvements that I would like to see on the Flyer Via. All right, so let's start with the elements of the Via that I think could be improved. The first thing is the aesthetics. I do feel like they took a little bit of a step back with the aesthetics in a lot of different ways. So for one, the welds up front here are very visible now in comparison to what was on the previous model. Now, when I think of Radial Flyer, I think of Radial Flyer Red, and the Via comes in 3 color options, which does not include the color red. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity because it's so iconic for that brand, and it just looked absolutely stunning on the previous generation of their electric cargo bike. Now, another thing aesthetically that I don't prefer is the battery here. It is on the exterior and it sticks out like a sore thumb, so you can definitely tell this is an e-bike, whereas the previous generation, they had one that was integrated into the frame and it looked really beautiful and seamless. It didn't even look like it was an e-bike. But it also had the ability to add a second battery on that previous generation, which was in the same location here. And I thought that was a great idea because you could extend your range, especially for a cargo e-bike. But the Via here does not have that ability to add a second battery. Another opportunity for improvement is the after-sales experience. Now, there are high-quality components on this bike and their name brand, but it only has a 1-year warranty period. And some of the competitors that I've reviewed in this category, like Aventon and GoElectric, offer a 2-year warranty period, and they have a wide dealer network. So just know that you're getting a lesser period of time for your warranty and experience for service. Generally speaking, the quality of the materials on the Via here match the quality and materials of the premium feel of the last generation of the bike, but there is one area where I feel like they stepped down or backwards, and that is the footboards. They're made out of a plastic material here now instead of a really high quality wood finish, which was absolutely stunning on the previous bike. The last opportunity for improvement has to be the price. This is listed MSRP at $2,199, and I think that is a little bit expensive for what we're looking at as far as competition goes. There are some bikes that match the specifications or get close to it that maybe are $300 to about $500 less. So I think this is a little expensive for what it is. But that said, it is still a premium bike, so let's talk about the positives. All right, first and foremost, the Flyer Via has everything that I would recommend for the casual e-bike rider included right out of the box, which is an integrated headlight, integrated tail lights. It also has turn signals, which is a nice bonus, and it also has fenders. One thing I've never seen a competitor include is this accessory here, which is the kid and cargo rail system with the seats. Now, those are usually expensive to buy separately, but with a cargo bike, it makes sense to have, especially for a family brand like Flyer, and you're gonna be hauling your kids around. This has a 150-pound payload capacity, so you can put a couple of kids on the back. And I think that even if you don't have kids, this is an important consideration because there are so many high quality and a variety of accessories that Flyer offers that you can use with this rail system. So I'm absolutely impressed that it comes with the bike, but not only that, the fact that the accessories are so high quality and versatile. Another big positive and improvement over the last generation is the riding position and comfort. Now, the handlebars is a big reason why, because they come up and towards the rider and you can kind of shift them a little bit more towards you, and this seating position feels more upright in that case. So I'm really happy they did that. Now, if you want it even more comfortable, it's nice that they offer the option to get the Via Pro so you can have a front suspension. But if you're riding around on pavement and in your neighborhoods, I think this does the job. Another comfort advantage that this bike has is the very wide accommodation for rider heights. So anywhere between 4'10" with the small frame, all the way up to 6'10" for the large frame. And I'm always looking for e-bikes that can accommodate all sorts of riders, so this is a huge positive. Another big positive is the torque sensor that they've added to this bike, because it makes it much smoother as far as the ride goes, and that's really important when you are carrying any kind of load. But it's also important for efficiency, and considering they have one battery now instead of two, that is very important. Two of the things that I like about the bike are down here. One is the dual-legged kickstand. It is really easy to use to mount the bike and get it off of its kickstand. In comparison to the previous generation of this bike, it is so much easier to use. And the other thing is the battery right behind the mounting system on here has an area where you can actually put an Apple AirTag. And to be able to have that location tracking on this bike and make it in a very simple and affordable way, I think is a very nice bonus. Another thing I really like about this bike is the app integration. Now, I had some trouble because this is an early bike and I couldn't connect it to recognize that it was the Flyer Via. It thought it was a different bike, but essentially what the app can do is allow you to not only record rides and have map integration, but you also have the ability to adjust your pedal assist to the exact amount that you want in each one of those modes. So you can really make it custom as far as you want this bike and how you want this bike to ride. There are also ways in the app that you can adjust the turn signals, which I was really surprised by because I talked about this on a previous review of another bike that had turn signals, is that I wish that I could set a duration for the period of time for the turn signals to be on, and then they automatically go off instead of having to keep pressing the button to turn them off. And you can do this in the app for the Flyer as well. Now, I know I've touched on this already, but the last thing that I want to talk about is the accessories. I really don't think that anyone does accessories better than Flyer. The quality of the materials of the accessories and the ability to really accommodate a family is absolutely exceptional. My favorite accessory of all time has to be the kid and cargo carrier material, where you can actually not only put a couple kids back here and keep them protected, but also fill it so full with groceries. You could do a full grocery trip. And not only that, but it has this hood that goes over it, which keeps the weather out, so you can ride in any kind of conditions, or just keep any kind of valuables back here protected from the elements. And I have never seen anything so amazing as far as accessories go, and I'm excited for families to be able to have the opportunity to really experience that. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this world's first review of the Flyer Via. And if you want to learn more about this bike, then see the link in the description below. Flyer might help support the Miss GoElectric channel if they find we're helping their customers find the right bike for them. Well, until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.